and it's called Smile Back at Me. And it goes like, some people die, but angels can fly. Some people fight.
You know, when I thought of the opportunity that I was going to have to be here on stage in front of all of you tonight, I thought, it's the best chance I have to express myself in song.
Okay, so warning before we get started with today's video, there is extreme ultraviolet cringe throughout this video, so don't say you haven't been warned. Okay, so this is essentially a carry-on from yesterday's video. It's part 2, I guess, of the Meghan Markle sit-down with Sophie Grégoire Trudeau, the First Lady, Madame Sophie Gregoire, Justin Trudeau's wife, basically. I'll leave a link to that first video here in the corner if you want to go and check that out. Brace yourselves. That's all I can say.
I just absolutely adore you. And
oh, Sophie G is pretty adorable.
I'm gonna sing for you tonight.
Boom, ba-dum.
Yeah. Sophie's not just a wife or a first lady.
Not just a wife. It's almost as though you feel like somebody's going to say that.
She's the type of person who cares really deeply about her friends.
Well, and don't forget, we also learned yesterday that she is so emblematic of strength that comes from embracing your humanity even in the face of all these family and home and public pressures. But now we learn that she cares deeply about her friends, and she's definitely not a sociopath.
My brooch, the nanny's my hair.
Boom, ba-dum.
Sophie Gate everywhere.
Boom, ba-dum.
'Cause it's all.
My fellow human beings.
In simple terms, there is a predator race which take a reptilian form.
She used to send me these little meditations during my pregnancy and voice notes, just these moments of encouragement.
I'd play them backwards if I were you. See what demonic messages are. Forget it anyway.
And I've gone to her over the years for advice. She knows what it feels like to be a mom and a partner.
And a fellow human being.
And specifically a mom and a partner in the public eye. And also how crushing the guilt of expectations can become.
Here we go with the expectations again. Right, now, Sophie Grégoire Trudeau married the son of Pierre Trudeau, Justin Trudeau, right? Most of her frickin' childhood, he was the Prime Minister of Canada. You didn't know that there were expectations. They were childhood friends, right? Justin Trudeau and Sophie Grégoire, right? They've known each other their entire lives. She didn't think there'd be any public attention or expectations on her being the wife of Justin Trudeau, being the daughter-in-law of Pierre Trudeau. Seriously. I mean, obviously she clearly hates the limelight, what with all of her impromptu, well, rather unprompted, totally spontaneous public singing. Oh, and her CV, which includes nothing but jobs in TV and radio. And as for Meghan, marrying into the British royal family who she knew nothing about, just don't do it! You knew what you were getting yourselves into, so no sympathy on my part.
The guilt that we feel as mothers or as women in general is self-imposed. I think we've learned to self-impose it. We're not born, a little girl is not born feeling guilty for being a girl. We learn it.
Yeah, in psychology that's called the development of the superego, because what do you want to be? Like a toddler your entire life, crying and screaming every time you don't get your own way and shitting your pants. Not guilt for being a girl, it's guilt for being a person who isn't as good as they can be, and that's a good thing. That drives you on, it makes you a better person, unless you're a complete fucking sociopath.
And that's completely unacceptable. So I think that when I started becoming, an older girl and an early adult stage, I realized that we often define freedom as a way to be free from the world, but it's really a way to be free in the world.
A way to be free in the world, not free from the world. I loved it when Sophie said this, and it reminded me of this book I had been reading called A Radical Awakening by Dr. Shefali Spari.
Sounds interesting.
And I ended up sharing this passage, this opening poem from it, with Soph, but I wanted to share it with you too.
Oh God. She's going to read a poem again.
Stop it. Get some help.
Let's see if it resonates.
No! It's not going to resonate.
There comes a time in the life of a woman when she discards her old ways, like tossed shoes in the garbage. When she shreds her list of shoulds and obligations.
We are drinking martinis at 2:55 on a Monday on Sunset Boulevard, and then we're going makeup shopping. We love it. Cheers.
And when impossible expectations are burned in an incinerator.
I froze your tears and made a dagger and stabbed it in my cock.
There comes a time in the life of a woman when the approval of others, once jewels, now turn to pennies in her sock.
That reference is lost on me. I get it that approval of others could be like jewels, right? That's a thing that you like and you display and you show it and you're proud of it. But pennies in a sock. The only thing I know about pennies in socks, maybe like keeping a penny in your shoe is good luck. So what the approval of others is like good luck, I'm not sure. I don't know. Or there's the other reference of something looking like coins in a sock, which I think is a reference to cellulite. Can someone help me out here? Because I don't get it. Or if I'm right, tell me, ladies who are watching, have you reached that point in your life where the approval of others has become like pennies in a sock? Like cellulite? Stubborn and aesthetically displeasing?
When the hunt for another is now replaced by the hunt for herself.
Ladies, I want comments under this video. When did you start hunting yourselves?
And when parental tentacles of tradition no longer define her truth.
Now, for the last time, ladies, stop letting those parental tentacles define your truth. Please, let go. Your children are nothing more but greedy octopi reaching up at you with their slimy tentacles. Cut the bastards off!
There comes a time in the life of a woman when her desire to fit in with the crowd dissolves.
What's kind of ironic is Meghan's kind of done the exact opposite. She's done that the other way around in her life. She spent her entire life scrambling up the social ladder, trying to get away from her peers and not conforming with what she had, which is great. Good for her. Kudos. But all the while refusing to go along with any kind of traditions or norms, with the royal family, for example. And it seems that it's only now, really, that she's trying to make herself seem relatable and seek the approval of others with her Spotify podcast and interviews she's doing in magazines. And by the way, she is failing miserably.
When her manic compulsion to be perfect vaporizes, and when her obsession to be voted popular eviscerates. There comes a time in the life of a woman when she simply says, no more.
Bleak.
When facade, artifice, and guile leave her nauseated, and when righteousness, dogma, and superiority.
What?
When facade, artifice, and guile leave her nauseated, and when righteousness, dogma, and superiority repulse her.
Oh, so much figurative shite. Okay, so there comes a point in women's life, apparently, where you find falseness repulsive, essentially, I think is what is being said there. Okay.
There comes a time in the life of a woman when she no longer fears conflict but faces it boldly like a lioness, when she guards her authenticity as fearlessly as she guards her babies.
So a lot of women, as they get older, will become less inclined to avoid conflict because they are not as agreeable as they were when they were younger. Agreeable in psychological terms, probably because they've got less estrogen in their body. You know, they're not of a reproductive age, so they're not worried about attracting men and appearing all feminine and defenseless. So they're not worried about standing up for themselves too much and showing what they really think. The same way as men, the opposite kind of happens. You know, they have less testosterone in their body as they get older, and they become less aggressive and stop fighting and stop worrying about rutting for the females. It's not some dawning, some realization. It's just part of, you know, getting old, I guess.
And when she drops the role of savior, knowing she can only save herself.
Okay, so I guess we leave today's video, all of us, you know, a lot wiser than we came into it, and I think there's still plenty of cringe gold to mine out of this podcast because Sophie Gregoire is next level. So I think I'm going to continue with this, possibly. We'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share and subscribe because that really helps me with the goddamn algorithm. These reptilians, they don't want me to be successful. All right?